Federal workers will be meeting with Representatives Christ and Castor tomorrow to discuss how this shutdown has impacted their wallets, safety, and families. An officer from Coleman Federal Prison tells Madison Allworth he's had time to make some major changes and he's tired of feeling like his voice isn't being heard.
I'm going on 24 years with the Department of Justice. It's a good career, but I never thought I would have to work for a second job and in order to make ends meet.
Joe Rojas is an officer at Coleman Federal Prison and the president of his local federal workers union. He's been invited to Tampa to meet with Representatives Christ and Castor to discuss the impact of the shutdown on federal workers.
We've seen people call out. I know I've spoken to a lot of young officers who maybe have 2 to 3 years vested in the Bureau, and if this lasts longer, they are going to quit.
As it is, working in a federal prison is hard work.
It's just a stressful job. On a daily basis, we have assaults on staff. Do throw we call them cocktails, which is urine and feces, throw them on staff. Would anybody work for free in this type of environment? No, but we do.
Last week, President Trump signed the Government Employee Fair Treatment Act of 2019, which should provide back pay to federal employees once the shutdown is over.
It's nice that we get paid eventually, but now it doesn't help me now. They need to open up the government now so I can start feeding my family. Same thing with my fellow colleagues.
And he's calling on Republicans and Democrats to get that done.
And they're both being stubborn and using us as collateral damage, and they're forgetting why they were elected. They were elected to represent us and to protect us, and they're not doing that. They're both failing at that.
And if and when you get to talk to the representatives tomorrow, what do you want to say to them?
Sit down and negotiate. And stop playing hardball. Because the hardball you're playing, it's affecting me. It's affecting my staff. But stop getting your egos involved and playing hardball.
Because for him and his colleagues, this is about so much more.
Please, I implore the government, I implore Congress, and both sides, don't use us as a bargaining chip. They're using us in the game of chicken. Who's going to blink first? And we're collateral damage. This is ridiculous. This is un-American, not fair, and you have real lives affected by this.
We reached out to Representative Christ and Castor's offices about tomorrow's event and this ongoing issue. Now, Congressman Christ's office responded in part by saying, we can and should discuss how best to strengthen border security, but without shuttering the Department of Homeland Security and other important federal agencies, causing pain and disruption to the American people and our economy. We have not heard back from Castor's office. If you are furloughed, there are several resources for you here in the Bay Area if you need help. We have that list for you at WTSP.com.